Hey everyone, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing. My name's Mark, and thanks for joining us again for race 2 of round 8 with the Ultimate Racing League 2 guys in the GR3 Sunday evening challenge. Now, one thing I didn't do in race 1, which I normally do, is just give a quick track guide, so we'll just run through it now before we start race 2. As you can see, we are in Spielberg at Red Bull Ring. This is quite a short track, a very well-known track throughout the game. It is 2.6 miles. There are only 10 turns, but it is full of hazards and penalties. Practically every corner you're going to pick up a penalty unless you are careful. So as you say, it is relatively short. We have the famous Niki Lauda curve, turn 1, which can make or break your lap, the same as Remus, which is turn 3, another very tricky turn. And then the other ones to look out for are Rint at turn 9 and turn 10, the Red Bull Mobile. They are where you're going to pick your penalties up, as well as you are trying to get on the power very early to get a good exit on those turns. So they're the ones to look out for. Yeah, that's the track. Let's just run down the grid order now after qualifying, after the results of race 1. So the Big Mac finds himself in 12th, Hoppers in 11th. Max had quite a few issues in race 1. Not Max, sorry, it was Mikey, wasn't it? Sorry Max, I do apologise. Max is in 10th, Angry Man's 9th, Declan 8th, Stealthy 7th, Kebab Man 6th, Niggle 5th, Hodgie is 4th, Robbie is 3rd, James 2nd, and our winner of the previous race, Wacky Racer, is in pole. Now the reason I mentioned Max, I thought it was going to be Mikey, because Mikey does seem to be missing for this race. So once again, apologies Max, you didn't have all sorts of problems. I thought you had a decent race actually. So yeah, Mikey seems to be missing, so whatever the issue was, the mechanics have not managed to get it sorted for race 2, which is a shame. Hopefully he'll be back for race 3. If the guys are working on the car as we speak, he may well be able to make a return. We shall see. But in the meantime, let's get those lights out so that Wacky Racer can get us underway and lead us into the Niki Lauda curve for the second time. Oh, it's James. Now then, what's happened to James? That was a mighty wheel spin, and he just veered across the track. Now whether that's a new tactic, I'm not sure. Maybe he was just trying to take Wacky Racer out early doors, but missed him. And I think that may well have been a traction control issue there for James, but that has put him all the way down to 5th, which he will not be pleased about, as they all go through turn 1 without incident. Wacky Racer picking up a half-second penalty very early on. I'm sure that's not going to bother him too much. He's got his teammate Robbie for company in 2nd after James had that little incident. He was lucky he didn't take Robbie out with him. Hodgie in 3rd. Then we've got Kebab Man's and James having a fight for 4th. James just gets his nose in front. So Kebab Man's now down into 5th as we see Declan and Niggle side by side. Declan just getting his nose in front. Although Niggle is going to push him, I'm sure, as hard as he can. As we can see, everybody snaking through there. Now then, is Niggle going to have a look at the inside? Let's go on board with Niggle. We've got Stealth just behind, and then Declan and Kebab Man's just ahead. So can that Porsche keep up with the Aston into turn 1? avoiding that sausage curb on the right, and then the same with the sausage on the left. That turn is all about avoiding your sausages. Now is Nigel going to have a look at this one on the inside of Declan, hard on the brakes. So that's turn 3. As you can see, Big Mac and Stealth fighting it out. Oh, come on, cameraman. So the Big Mac on the inside of the Stealth. As we're into turn 4, the Big Mac gets it done. He's in 8th position, Stealth in 9th. Let's hope Big Mac has a better race than he did in race 1. I'm not quite sure what happened, we missed it. But he must have had a bit of a moment to find himself at the back. But the 2 Spider-Man Porsche sitting in 7th and 8th. Stealth in 9th with Angry Man's just sat behind him. Then we've got a bit of a gap back to Hoppers and Max in 11th and 12th. So back up to our current race leader, Wacky Racer. He's not having it all his own way this time though, is he? He's got his teammate right up his chuff. Robbie will be in that slipstream. Hodgie in 3rd, although he has got a penalty, and James has made his way up into 4th. So it is as it was in the first race. It is the 2 Mercs. Oh, as Robbie goes wide. Now Robbie went very wide into turn 3, which has allowed Hodgie to get up there. Let's just have a quick look at that. I was going to leave it, but let's have a look. So I think Robbie just went wide. He couldn't quite slow it down enough, and that's allowed Hodgie through, although Robbie manages to keep his nose just in front of Hodgie as they come down the hill towards Slosh Gold. Robbie's still in 2nd, although Hodgie is on the inside. Well, Robbie had a great drive out of that turn to keep himself in 2nd position. I think he will be secretly pleased seeing that Hodgie's got that penalty, which he is going to be serving any second now. That is going to allow his teammate James to go through into that 3rd position, and may even give Robbie a bit of a breather, and he has. So James takes up 3rd, Hodgie has to slot in behind into 4th. So Wacky not getting away from these guys like he did in race 1. Current fastest lap after 4 is James Stephen on a 1:29.8. So let's just drop down a little bit then. So Kebabman's in 5th. Then we've got Declan in 6th. Nigel carrying a penalty in 7th. Through turn 3, down the hill. Nigel's not going to get any moves done on Declan there, unless he makes a late lunge, which I don't think he will. Stealth looking comfortable in 5th as he's watching Nigel and Declan fight it out just ahead of him. Angry Man in 9th, then Big Mac, Hoppers and Max in 10, 11 and 12. As Nigel approaches the penalty zone to serve his penalty. Declan can have a bit of a breathe now. There's a couple of car lengths gap between himself and Nigel now. As we go back up through the order. Oh, that's Robbie with a penalty. That will be an encouragement for James. If he can't get by him before the penalty zone, I'm pretty sure he'll go by him as soon as we hit it. All James has got to do is stick with him. Wacky does seem to be inching away from the rest of the pack. Like I say, he's not having it all his own way like he did in race 1, but he is starting to pull a bit of a gap now. Let's just follow these through as Robbie approaches the penalty zone. You can see the bar starting to fill. James will be encouraged by that. And as we see Robbie, everybody normally pulls to the right hand side as Robbie has done. Serves his penalty and James goes through. Robbie drops the third and Hodgie gets right onto the back of him. Oh, that looked wide. I think he may have just kept his wheels on the curb, did Robbie. So he's really pushing now. He's trying to get that second position back. As we go through turn 1 and start up the hill. Hodgie in 4th. Let's go on board with Hodgie as we come up to Remus. Turn 3. And then we start on down the hill to turn 4. We've got no pressure behind at all. Kebabman's is there, but he's not close enough to put any pressure on Hodgie. Hodgie's just going to sit here and watch Robbie and James have a bit of a scrap, and while they do, it gives him the opportunity to get closer and closer and maybe even nick a spot or 2 off of them. You can just see Wacky ahead. So these top 4 are starting to break away a little bit. Both Hodgie and James doing a much better job than I do in the Genesis. I just cannot get on with it, but these guys seem to have tamed it and are having a fantastic race. So down to Kebabman's, coming under a lot of pressure from Declan. Declan really has been having a great season this time around. He's always been there and thereabouts, but seems to have got himself together for this season. Whether it's the car or what, I don't know. Seems to be enjoying his racing a bit more, and it's starting to show. As he just had a little bit of a coming together with the Kebabmans, which knocked him down a little bit. Nigel took advantage of that. But Declan's going to fight back though. He's not going to let Nigel have that spot easily. We've had 10 minutes. We've got just under 5 minutes of this race 2 to go. This obviously being in the evening, you can see it is starting to get a little bit darker. The one following this is going to be a nighttime race. So once the guys have finished this race, it'll be off for some dinner or something, as Nigel goes very wide there. That must be a penalty, surely. Yeah. And as we see from Nigel's point of view, he's in quite a sandwich as Declan has a look up the inside. Oh, a bit of a bumper kiss with the Kebabmans. Kebabmans goes wide as a result of it. Declan goes through. So let's just go back and have a look at this. So Nigel, I think he had a bit of a bumper kiss with the Kebabmans just before that. Kebabmans went off. Nigel loses the spot to Declan and has been given another half-second penalty, making it 1 altogether. Badmans didn't pick up a penalty. I thought he might, but he didn't. It stays in 5th. So Declan now in 6th, Nigel in 7th with a 1 second penalty, as we've said. Now that could be enough to let Stealth through. Stealth currently in 8th. Then we've got Angry Man's, the Big Mac, Hoppers and Max. Hoppers and Max seem to be having a bit of a fight at the back here. So let's just follow these two as we go around turn 4. As I say, very easy to come off and go onto the gravel there. Round onto Raunch. Max doing everything he can to get by Hoppers, but Hoppers defending well. As we head towards turn 9, Hoppers taking the defensive line on the inside, runs the risk of going wide but didn't. And that was a great turn from both of them. They both got a good exit. Max is right up the back of Hoppers now. Let's go on board with Max as he has a look at the inside. No, thinks better of it. He's definitely in the slipstream and getting closer to Hoppers. Now then, does Max have a look? No, Hoppers goes defensive. If Max is going to want this, he's going to have to go all the way around the outside. Oh, some great racing between these two. You don't have to be at the front to have a fantastic race, as these two are showing. Down towards turn 4. Again, Hoppers goes defensive, but Max goes for the cutback. Has he got it done? I don't think he is. Hoppers is now on the inside. These two still side by side, nothing to separate them. Oh, Max, just gosh. This is fantastic stuff from these two guys at the back. A slight mistake from Max has cost him just not even a few tenths. He's just drifted off the back of Hoppers, but let's just drop back up to our leader. Wacky Racer has really opened that gap up now. He has got the fastest lap, a 1:29.0. James in 2nd. Hodgie 3rd. Robbie 4th. Robbie carrying a penalty as well. That's not going to help his cause. We've got about 30 seconds of this second race to go. So let's just have a look where's Wacky Racer. So Wacky Racer, this is definitely going to be the last lap. James in 2nd, so Hodgie and Robbie, although Hodgie, I think he's going to retain his 3rd position when Robbie has to serve that penalty. So back up to our race leader as he takes turn 10 for the last time, does he? Or is he going to get another lap in? Well, Wacker's got to do another lap. He did try to stop himself, but James takes 2nd, Hodgie 3rd, Robbie 4th. Declan is going to take 5th with Nigel 6th, Kebabman 7th, Stealth is going to come in 8th, Angry Man 9th. Then we've got the Big Mac, he's going to take 10th, with Hoppers and Max still scrapping it out for 11th. Wacky Racer did try to get to slow it down on the line, but just crossed the line before the timer ran out, so has got to do another lap as Hoppers brings it home in 11th after a good race with Max in 12th. So back up to Wacky Racer, who's got to do another lap of honour to take win number 2 of the day. So while everybody else is parking up and getting the kettle on, he's got to carry on round. Fantastic racing though from Wacky Racer. A couple of penalties picked up along the way, but then again so's everybody else. But it's not been enough to slow him down as he goes through Red Bull Mobile for the last time. And there's the checkered flag. So a fantastic win for Wacky Racer in race 2. Hopefully you can join me very shortly for race 3, which is going to be at night. So if we can actually see the cars, we just watch the headlights going round. I shall catch you all soon.